A year ago, it was this exact same spot where I did my first Facebook Live, and I was terrified about telling my story, let alone selling. And it's because I lacked three important things: clarity, consistency, confidence. And so in this video, I'm going to show you some ways in which you can show up on IG stories confidently and sell to your audience, plus a link sticker tutorial, because as you'll know, even small creators have that. So yay, stay tuned. So if you're excited to watch this video, subscribe, hit that like button, and also the bell to be notified for a new video every week. So as I said before, I started doing Facebook Lives feeling completely uncomfortable. And now I show up in IG stories every day, 3-4 times a day. And now I do it with ease, but it wasn't like that. And now I even push my clients, as you can see in this comment here, to just show up, because, putting yourself out there and your offers while speaking to an audience, face to face, or at least face to camera, builds connection and trust much faster. With that said, let's take a look at the first one. So the first way you can monetize your IG stories confidently, it doesn't even have to involve your own offer, right? Because I know that starting an IG, if you're gonna, who you're attracting, because you have to have clarity on who you attract and what you sell and everything. What it is very important for you to do is think or select of an entrepreneur, a like-minded entrepreneur that is aligned with your offer, with what your audience is very interested in. So it has to be a relevant entrepreneur. One time I promoted, and you can see it right here, a Facebook Live event of an entrepreneur that kind of has my same vibe, but we offer different things. She offers Facebook marketing, I offer Instagram marketing. So there wasn't really a conflict of interests, but at the same time, I knew that it was an offer that my audience was gonna love, right? Live video. And so what I did was I used an engagement sticker, and I asked my audience, who wants to promote themselves in front of, I don't know if it was thousands or millions. I'm kidding. So the ones that said yes, I send them the link, and you don't have to have thousands of followers. It is if your audience is relevant. So you can have 100 people and still monetize it. So let's say you're a piano teacher, and your friends, or you have this network with an entrepreneur that is actually going to sell a digital product, not on piano teaching, but maybe on singing. And so because your audience is musical, or should be musical in that case, you can do exactly the same thing. You can ask them, who would be interested in learning about singing so that you can complement your piano lessons. And so if they say yes, you can DM them and send them the link. Now, I know that now there's an easier way with the link sticker, but I will cover that. So one thing to keep in mind, actually, too, it's relevancy. So relevancy to your audience and relevancy to the offer, because you don't want to be putting, an account out there that is about, artistic stuff or offers or courses, and then all of a sudden promote a fitness, course. And the second thing, and this is so important, is that you actually know and have used and tested the product and know the person. It is actually important that they're credible, that there's credibility in there, because if there's not, and the offer turns out to be a scam, or the offer turns out to be something that's not of high quality, then your authority actually is going to be damaged. So the second one is a bit more personal, and it is actually, you do have to have an offer with this. But to be honest, as a creative coach, creating an offer is not really that hard if you want to put yourself out there. The faster ways actually sell your time, a one-on-one. And actually, in this story right here, I talked about my one-to-one sessions where I helped creatives and creative entrepreneurs with their Instagram marketing strategy. And so how I did it was I spoke about the offer, I spoke about the results they could get. As you see, I added a little caption on the stories, because when people go through stories, the stories are muted, and so you want to make sure that you catch your audience's attention. And so you want to make sure that you utilize this technique when your audience is warmed up. You don't want to be, creating your account and then all of a sudden just jump out in stories and talk about your offer. Because first there has to be some trust built. So make sure you do have at least a couple posts and audience that is relevant and that you know that they would love, especially as a coach, and especially if you cover like their needs. And the only thing you need for that is actually a Calendly link. I use Calendly. It's pretty great. And you actually, in the part of the story, you want to talk about how this has changed other clients. Your audience can feel your energy. And so if you go to your stories and you feel confident about what you're putting out there, you're going to speak like with excitement. And I know that I've watched videos, and when I see that the person is really excited, it just and confident, it just makes me want to buy, right? Because if the person is confused, I'm going to be confused, and confused people don't buy, as you may have heard. If not, comment below. Have you heard that expression? Because it is true. To make it even more of an eye catcher, and this can even help the algorithm, you can say, DM it with this word. And so what they'll do is, if they're really interested and you have, spoken with like a relevant story and highlighted the results that they're going to get if they book a session with you, is that they're going to DM you, and it will help the algorithm because, more interactions on the DMs and everything. It just tells the algorithm that your account is really relevant and that you are actually selling relationships while selling. That is the perfect formula. So the third technique is actually similar to the first one, but in this case, again, it does entail your offer, but it's a little bit, it's even more effective because it's about you asking a question that relates directly to the pain point of your ideal client. So let's say I could be asking, so are you struggling with consistency? And so if they say yes, and this can be even you talking about them and telling, like at first I was really inconsistent and I really struggle with like even creating content, and I really struggle with confidence and stuff. And then like you talk about how you are now getting all these results for yourself and your clients. And so you can do it again, with just a poll sticker and without your face. But like I say, when people talk to you like that, it's just it's just a lot warmer, and you can really trust the person more than if you put an engagement sticker or or like a non-face technique. So in this case, for example, I'm asking this question. And so if you already have, let's say, a digital course or a workbook or offer, what you can do is send them the link. And this wouldn't be like a cold technique because you already know that they're strong with that and they're actually looking for that solution. Even if they don't buy, there's a really good technique that you can use on Instagram where you can actually flag the accounts that engage with you the most. And so you actually target them like warm leads. So as you can see on the screen, is pretty easy to do, and that actually saves you a lot of time when, for example, maybe you've had a call and a person said, okay, yes, I'm in, and then 2 days go by and nothing. So you can, like, obviously without being pushy, you can remind them of like, what up, or are you in this or not? I do want to know, are you already showing up in IG stories? Are you speaking to your audience confidently, even if it's not to sell, but just to nurture those relationships? Because if you are just reposting your feed posts, that's not enough. Think about this next time you are doubting yourself. When you are going to buy something, do you actually buy it just because you see it online, or it's because you've already attended a webinar and you've kind of like listened to people speak and you already know that he or she is an expert in that field? Again, it does build connection faster. Okay, and so we've come to the link sticker. This is so exciting because it just simplifies things a lot. You're just one click away of selling and redirecting people to your opt-in, like I did here, or redirecting people to your one-to-ones or your YouTube video. I would use this technique later on because, again, if you just start your account and put a link out there, people most likely won't click it, right? So you want to make sure that you first show up a little bit, 3 or 4 times a day on stories. And in this example, as you can see, I was naughty and I didn't show my face. I just put a simple graphic of my freebie to entice the audience, with visuals and the link. But you can totally talk about the benefits and results that would get. Like in my case, those are CTAs, so I could talk about how this will fast track and save you a lot of time, because like it's a collection of 109 CTAs. And so in my case, I would say, guys, I know that maybe sometimes conversation starters or captions can be very difficult to make people engage and convert. So you want to make sure that you grab this, and I will let them know. There's actually a free ebook that you can grab on the highlight section, and also make sure that they feel supported, and make sure that I am giving them lots of value. Okay, with this link, you can actually invite people to convert to your email list or to book a one-on-one session straight away. The opportunities are endless. So a little trick that you can use is actually make the offers and the links stay forever, because as you'll know, stories only last 24 hours. But if you actually embed them on the highlight section, you can actually store them. And next time a visitor comes in, obviously if your profile is optimized and you clearly state who that account is for, they are going to want to click on them. And you can divide them even by like for ebook or like work with me and all of that. And it's a really cool thing to have. So now let's go into this little quick tutorial that I'm going to show you so that you can use the link now and forever and sell. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to click the Notes app, and there's where I have my link. And I am going to open the Instagram app and check out the story that I already have ready. As you can see, I'm promoting my YouTube channel. I want to use the link for that. So I'm going to click the link sticker option, and then I'll just paste it. And it's a long link. But you always want to do is see preview to check out that everything's okay. So I'm just going to click it, and there you go. There it is, your website or whatever it is. Okay, and then here, the sticker, you can change colors. As you can see, white, blue. I'm going to leave it as blue. And I'm also going to rearrange a little bit the sticker and the letters so they don't cover my face. And as you can see, I don't have the caption option, so I still write. It's a couple of seconds, and because stories are muted, is the best advice that I can give you. Just put the letters in there, and there you go. And then to highlight the call to action even more, I'm gonna search for a sticker. Click here, and I can add one of those. So I create urgency and invite people to click the link. And that is it. Woo! So now we can publish it on stories for 24 hours, or as I already explained, leave it forever in highlights. Now you know all these ways, and the opportunities are endless. But the question is, will you show up on IG stories? Like, will you show up confidently and actually feel excited? Because you should be. You have an offer out there as a creative coach, and you want to make sure that you are there. Obviously, don't spam your audience. Don't talk about selling all the time. But when you do, make sure you do think of your audience and be clear of, this is a human that I'm going to help. And so I'm going to show up because, my business will thank me for it. And also this person that's looking for that solution is going to help. It's going to thank me for it. Remember these 3 things, as I said at the beginning: clarity on who you help, why you're doing this, what is your purpose behind you showing up on this short video form that is amazing, the consistency of it all. It just doesn't work. You just speaking, a second one day and then like 2 weeks after you speak again. You have to be consistent, and then consistency will drive you to confidence. That is the action, that it is true. And believe me, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel. You just have to start, remove that band-aid and start. Guys, make sure you do remove those limiting beliefs and accept that you're awesome, that you're ready to put yourself out there. So I'm gonna leave my calendar here in the link in the description below. You can contact me there, and you'll receive a lot of accountability, support, and strategy, you know, because everything starts with mindset. Mindset is everything. You can have all the strategy in the world and read all those blog posts and everything, but if you really don't have anyone to support you, well, it's a little bit of like a hard road. So make sure you check that out in the link in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and resonating with the whole feeling icky, you know, when selling like just live and, you know, putting yourself out there. I know I was there. And so if you resonate with this, make sure you like this video and, you know, share with someone that needs it, and subscribe, because in the next video I'm going to give you actually some tools where you can boost your confidence and show up on IG. And make sure you watch this video next, as the one about Reels, because as you all know, short video form is amazing, not only in IG stories but also on Reels, and you want to like edit them with ease. So make sure you check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.